I can still feel the icy grip of fear clawing at my chest as I recount the harrowing tale of my encounter with the sinister reality of sleep paralysis. It was a night like any other. Little did I know that the boundaries between the waking world and the realm of nightmares would blur into a horrifying ordeal that would haunt my every waking moment. It began innocently enough, as the moonlight seeped through the cracks in my curtains, casting eerie shadows across the room. As I drifted into slumber, a strange unease washed over me. My room became a labyrinth of darkness, and I found myself unable to move. Panic surged through me as I realized I was trapped within my own body. My breaths grew shallow, and the room seemed to grow colder. In the darkness, I heard a faint and menacing whisper. It was a voice that seemed to come from the deepest abyss of my subconscious, beckoning me to listen. "You are not alone. We are here." Unable to move, I felt a sinister presence closing in around me, taking on grotesque forms that seemed almost human. Their eyes glowed with malevolence as they circled my immobile body, whispering dreadful secrets into my ears. The lead shadow was a ghostly figure with hollow eyes. Its icy breath sent shivers down my spine as it whispered, "We feed on your fear and your despair." I could feel the weight of their malevolent intentions pressing down on me, suffocating me in a nightmarish reality. With every ounce of my willpower, I fought to regain control of my body. The room seemed to pulse with an unnatural energy, as if the very air itself conspired against me. The shadows grew more aggressive, their whispers turning into ear-piercing shrieks that threatened to shatter my sanity. I tried to scream, to cry out for help, but my voice was lost in the abyss. Desperation clawed at my soul as I realized that I was alone in this terrifying ordeal. My heart raced as I struggled against the invisible chains that bound me to this waking nightmare. In the midst of my struggle, I managed to catch a glimpse of one of the shadows. Its features were twisted and contorted, a grotesque mockery of a human face. Its eyes were like a dark void filled with malice that was trying to bore into my very soul. With a chilling grin, the shadow extended a gnarled hand toward me, its fingers stretching impossibly long. It reached for my face, and I felt an excruciating pain as its icy grip clamped down on my forehead. It was as if it sought to tear my very consciousness from my body. My mind teetered on the edge of madness as the pain intensified. The shadows circled closer, their whispers growing louder, more taunting. "This is your end," they chanted in unison. Their voices seemed like a symphony of terror. I struggled to hold on to my sanity, to break free from this sinister grip. With one final surge of willpower, I managed to break the paralysis that held me captive. Gasping for breath, I jolted awake. My body was drenched in cold sweat. Morning light crept through my window, dispelling the remnants of the nightmarish ordeal. I was left shaken, my mind haunted by the malevolent presence that had invaded my sleep. It was no ordinary dream. It was a glimpse into a sinister reality that lurked in the shadows of our subconscious. As I lay there, trembling in the aftermath of my ordeal, I couldn't help but wonder if the boundary between dreams and reality was as thin as it seemed. Sleep paralysis had shown me a world of darkness and terror that I never knew existed, and I couldn't help but fear that it might return, dragging me back into its cold, nightmarish embrace. In the days that followed, I delved into research, seeking answers to the horrors I had experienced. I discovered that sleep paralysis was a documented phenomenon, but the sinister entities that had visited me remained shrouded in mystery. Some believed that sleep paralysis was merely a glitch in the brain's sleep-wake cycle, while others suggested a more sinister explanation, a doorway to the supernatural. I couldn't ignore the whispers of malevolence that still echoed in my mind, nor the chilling presence that had touched my soul. As weeks turned into months, I prayed that my nightmarish encounter had been a one-time ordeal. However, the malevolent whispers returned, and the shadows once again encroached upon my sleep. I was trapped in a sinister cycle, unable to escape the clutches of this nightmarish reality. Each night, the shadows grew bolder, their malevolence intensifying. They seemed to hunger for my fear, and I could feel their icy fingers probing the darkest corners of my mind. Desperation consumed me, as I fought to break free from their suffocating grip. My days blurred into a haze of exhaustion and fear as the torment continued. I became a prisoner of my own mind, my once vivid world reduced to a monochrome nightmare. The shadows whispered unspeakable horrors, taunting me with the promise of eternal torment. My grip on reality began to slip, and I questioned my own sanity. Was this a malevolent force from beyond the veil, or was it a manifestation of my own deepest fears? The answer remained elusive, lost in the suffocating darkness that enveloped me. As I teetered on the brink of madness, a glimmer of hope emerged from the depths of my despair. I had read of others who had faced sleep paralysis and emerged victorious. They had harnessed their own inner strength to banish the malevolent entities that plagued them. With newfound determination, I resolved to confront the shadows one last time. I steeled my mind against their taunts, refusing to surrender to fear. As the shadows closed in, I summoned every ounce of courage within me and uttered a defiant scream that echoed through the void. The room seemed to quake with my scream, and the shadows recoiled in agony. Their forms wavered and wailed, their grip on me weakening. I pushed myself to the brink of exhaustion, refusing to yield to their malevolence. With a final desperate surge, I broke free from their grasp. The room erupted in blinding light as the shadows dissipated into nothingness. I gasped for breath, my body drenched in sweat, but I was free. The nightmare had ended in the wake of my victory. I found solace in the light of day. The malevolent entities that had haunted my sleep were banished, and I could finally rest in peace. But the scars of that sinister reality remained, etched into the very core of my being. I share this tale not as a warning, but as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. However, the lingering dread of that sinister reality still lingers in the depths of my soul, a constant reminder that the boundary between dreams and nightmares is a fragile one. In the end, I can only hope that my story serves as a cautionary tale, a glimpse into the sinister reality of sleep paralysis. May you never find yourself trapped in a nightmare like the one I endured, and may you always find the strength to awaken from the darkest of dreams. As I recount the horrors of that fateful night, I am left with more questions than answers. What were those malevolent entities that tormented me in my sleep? Were they mere figments of my imagination or something more sinister lurking in the unseen darkness? Sleep paralysis had revealed to me a world of terror and despair, but it had also shown me the boundless strength of the human spirit. As I lay down to rest tonight, I am haunted by the memories of that sinister reality. I can only pray that sleep will once again elude the clutches of the shadows, and that I will find peace in the realm of dreams. But in the depths of the night, as the darkness closes in, I cannot help but wonder if the malevolent entities still linger, waiting to return and plunge me once more into the abyss of sleep paralysis. Only time will tell, and until then I remain ever vigilant, because I think the nightmare is never truly over.